Well, good morning, everybody, and welcome to Let's Talk Antiques.
Good morning, Howard.
Yeah.
How you
Morning,
doing?
Howard.
I don't see David.
No,
I'm him.
Oh, hi, David.
I think Ray's with us today. Ray Seckler, he's done the show with us for
Yeah,
years.
oh, yeah.
And David, they're having a thing for the fire truck. I think you heard the advertisement a while ago on the.
Oh, yeah.
On the
He donated Granny back to the original gasoline-powered fire truck back to the city.
Yes.
I guess they're going to fix it up a little bit and use it in parades and promotion.
Yeah,
and
well,
stuff.
now I know it runs because when he first got it, we went over there and got it running.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But it's been sitting a while.
Yeah, and
So
it's been sitting a while since
probably got a
then, but-
gummed-up carburetor.
Oh,
Probably
you
I-
better believe it.
Get all the old gas out of it.
Yeah,
and-
yeah.
and-
But
we
that's
know
cool.
it will run.
Yeah, that's a nice piece of equipment. I've seen that over in his museum. I guess.
Yeah,
you
it
could
took up a big old spot.
But
in
I
there
did see on Facebook as soon as it moved out, he filled it up
with gas pumps.
with gas pumps.
Yes, he did.
There must be 100 gas pumps there.
Oh,
No,
God, he's
but a
got-
bunch of them.
he's got 'em.
Beautiful.
And they're all in amazing condition. That's the
Oh.
thing about them. Is
Yeah. I think
David's at the point now where he doesn't buy the ones that you need to work on for a year or something like that. He's
He's got enough stuff now that
he's
he
got the
picks and
nice one.
chooses what
Yeah.
he gets.
Yeah.
That's what the guy I used to work for. He had an amazing Gretsch guitar collection.
Oh God.
And to
those
start
things-
with, you'd get the ones you just found, and then you kind of work your way up, and it's like
a lot of
okay.
those Gretsch guitars are worth big money.
He's got an amazing, and the best part of his huge guitar collection is he plays every one of them.
Oh God.
And they rotate them. He's like a lot of Japanese are buying up the old Gretsch guitars, and they'll stick them in a vault in their case, and
Oh God, that's
it's just gone, as an investment. And he's like, it's an investment, but it's made to be used. And
Right.
so
Right.
he would or at the publishing place for the writers to write songs, about every 3 months they would swap out about 3 different guitars. So they would be away in a closet while they weren't
I used to
being
play all
used,
mine before my
but they
hand
would
got all
swap around.
crippled up and I couldn't chord anymore.
Yeah.
I collected Taylors and Martins.
Oh, really?
Mainly,
Oh,
yeah.
cool.
Of course, I had some Fender Strats and some electrics too, because I liked them all.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah, things like that, you stick them away and don't use them, or they deteriorate, even though you don't use them and they're stored.
Yeah, well,
unless you got them in a real
unless you
good
do it-
climate controlled and
Yeah,
all that. And a
exactly.
lot of people don't. They,
True.
they just get them and hang them on the wall.
Oh,
or
I kept
something.
mine out on stands. I
Yeah.
even kept some in the office.
Yeah.
You got to play them.
Yeah,
play
that's
'em.
what they're for.
They're made to be played.
Yeah.
I agree with you, buddy.
So anyway, Philip,
Yeah.
you got to do your thing.
Oh, you're listening to us
You thought I'd forget
on
after a week, huh?
WMSR 1320 live every week on Wednesday morning. What time is it? It's 9 o'clock.
9 o'clock.
There you
9
go.
o'clock.
Yeah, 9 o'clock.
And you can catch us on Charter Channel 193, and you can also catch us on LightTube Channel 6, or anytime on Facebook or YouTube, and you can just search "Let's Talk Antiques" and it comes up. And after you watch us, like, share, comment,
Yeah, share,
repeat.
especially share. Well, it's nice
Yes.
to like too,
Yeah.
but share it so more people see it.
It
Yeah,
keep-
tell
keeps
your
us up
friends
to where
about
people
us.
find out
Right.
about us. So.
So we're going to talk about these dealer promo cars today.
Yeah, those are pretty cool. That's something they don't do anymore, do they?
Well, not like they used
not
to.
like
Back in the 50s and 60s, they used to they would give them to children while the parents were shopping, for cars.
right. That was to influence the
That was
parents.
dirty, wasn't it?
Yeah.
but
So the kids can come home with something too.
yeah. So the kids.
Well, not
can
only
get
that, but
something.
see, that encouraged the kids to tell dad and mom, buy that car. I like it. Looky here, I got one just like it.
Yeah, but now the adults get them now. They won't let the kids play with them.
I know.
Because they're getting really collectible.
Right, right.
And I would tell you a little more about it, but Philip's got a good story for us here
Okay.
about them.
There you go. So, automotive dealer promos were the 1/25th scale versions of cars
Uh-huh.
and trucks that salesmen would show off to their prospective customers, while car companies have always made small replicas of their products. The heyday of these salesman samples was the 50s, 60s, and 70s. And that's most of what you find of them. One of the most prolific makers of dealer promos was Bath Rico. Is that how you pronounce it, Ronnie? Or
Let me
are
see
you
here.
familiar with the brand? Banthrica?
I can't see.
All right, you don't.
I got a little parallax going on
Okay.
here.
Which they spent much of the 1930s making cast metal piggy banks in the shapes of buildings and animals. After the war, they turned their attention to dealer promos for Chevy and other companies. In a nod to its roots, some of their dealer promos, which featured authentic factory paint, had slots in their bases so they could be used to squirrel away some coins. Those would be the really old ones. Paint is actually a key differentiator between the factory authorized dealer promo and a regular model car, especially for the post-war years. Auto companies had a difficult time supplying their dealers with cars in every available color. Dealer promos, which were released annually, just like the full-size cars they were based on, were a way for salesmen to make their pitch, even if they didn't have every color on the lot. In contrast, toy car model makers such as AMT, which also made dealer promos, Monogram and Revel produced vehicles whose colors were close but not necessarily true to the real thing. As the promos themselves became more popular, the models were used to convert window shoppers into buyers. For example, in the 1950s, AMT made plastic dealer promos of the Ford Edsel that were given to precarious children after their parents had taken a test drive. Companies such as Johan made friction drive promo cars that kids could race around a showroom floor while the adults haggled and bargained. In the late 50s and 60s, Johan also made a promo with a torsion chassis for Chrysler to coincide with the torsion air ride suspensions being marketed by the automaker. In the 1960s, at the height of the transistor radio craze, Ford and other companies built AM radios into their promo cars. Naturally, Ford features Philco radios, which was a division of the auto giant at the time. I didn't realize that Ford owned Philco.
Yeah,
At one time they
Philco
did.
Fords.
Okay. By the 1960s and 70s, as the differences between promos and toys began to blur, muscle cars became the most desirable dealer promos to collect. The Ford Mustang was an obvious favorite, but Thunderbirds and Galaxies were also in demand. Chevrolet had offered promos of its Bel Air in the 1950s, but that was also the decade of the first Corvette, which, along with the Impala and the Camaro, was, as is, a widely collected car. The condition of the dealer promo is important, so new collectors should look for a number of traits before purchasing. First, check for signs of damage caused by the tools that were used to assemble the car. If a hot tool touched a part of the car it was not supposed to, it would leave an ugly melted spot. Second, look for tire tracks on the roof or hood. When cars are stacked on top of each other for long periods of time, the tires will often leave a black mark.
Oh.
Yeah.
Finally,
Yep.
sometimes the plastic body of the car will warp, but other parts will not. For example, Johan bodies tend to warp upward on the sides, but the grills, which are made of a different material, do not, which gives the front end of the car the appearance of a smile.
Yeah.
The problem is so common, it is known among collectors as a Johan smile.
Oh.
So there's your basis of the dealer model promo cards.
Okay. Now, before you go any further, about the warped car,
Yeah.
I got one.
Oh, I had one. I brought some for us to look
Yeah.
at here
Yeah.
and talk about, but there was one of them that the hood had, the top of it had a little dip in it,
Yeah. Mine.
and that's where they stacked them.
Oh.
Mine kind of went side. Well, kind of picks up on one side, but mine are not dealer. That one is not a dealer promo. It's a '67
Yeah.
Ford. That I think it's a '67. Anyway, it's a Ford, and it's convertible. And a cereal company had a promo that on the back of the box. You know, unlike today when you sit there and eat your breakfast and look at your phone, we used to look at the back of the cereal box.
Oh,
Yeah.
And I don't know, gee, how old was I? I wasn't very old. But anyway, they had a contest, and all you had to do was clip the thing out and mail it in, you know. And so I clipped one out, and every time we got a box of cereal, I sent one in, and I must have won 4 of those cars.
Really?
Wow. I've never been that good at it.
And I did. That's the only time I ever won anything. And of course, it wasn't a full size car. Naturally, it wasn't a model.
So I'd say that once you started getting several of them, the care you gave to them started to decline.
I played with. But that one, I still got it over on in my little cubby hole. And the other one I got is actually from American Motors. It was given to my dad when he bought a '65 Rambler.
Oh, yeah.
But
Those are neat.
But he bought a station wagon, and this is a 4-door sedan. They didn't have a station wagon model.
Yeah.
But
Was it the one with the hood, with the rack on the top of it?
Well,
the little rack on the little metal rack?
well, he his real car
The
did,
wagon.
but not the model. The model's just a 4-door sedan.
I got one. I believe it's in that box.
Anyway, that was kind of interesting that he got that, and of course he had it for years sitting around, and then he passed it on to me.
Okay.
Yeah.
But they were common, like you say. If you bought a car, you almost always got one. And I was reading somewhere just the other day, kind of strange, about this guy. I guess it was on one of the AMC Facebook pages.
Sure.
Guy wrote in there. He said he had a picture of one, and he said that when his dad owned a Rambler dealership somewhere, and around Christmas time, he would give when his son, whatever class his son was in that year, around Christmas time, he would give all the students in the classroom one of these promos.
Oh, wow.
Oh, wow.
So he'd take up 30 of them or 25, whatever was in that kid's class that year. And he did that for several years, I guess, until it.
There's no telling how many dollars these gave away then.
Yeah, and of course, most of them probably got broken up, played with.
Yeah.
On the playground.
On the
probably.
playground.
Okay.
Crash up derby, yeah.
Crash derby,
That day.
yeah.
Okay, I've got a little more to add to what Philip said. I finally got back online here. I brought a different computer today and didn't have.
Oh, did he finally sign in?
Well, yeah, I was one.
Tiffany saved us.
Yeah,
Oh,
Tiffany saved us.
good.
She texted us the right one.
Yeah, okay. I hadn't signed in so long. I don't remember what the
Well,
password
between
was.
neither one of us could figure out how to spell it. We had the right password. We just wouldn't spell it right.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, I can't say what it is. But anyway, so now I've got what I.
Go ahead, say what it is, Ron.
No,
Yeah, tell everybody.
I would
We'll have
never-
to change
I
it.
would never do that to them. Okay, so I was going to add to that. Now Philip covered some of it there, but those promo cars are 1/25th scale, which is about 6 inches for the smaller one, and
Right.
the bigger ones are about 8-9 inches. For an average car that was the 6. Now they were not car kits, like you got in the stores, but now some of the manufacturers that made those promo cars also made those model kits.
Right,
And I'm
right.
gonna give you a good list of them
Yeah.
here in just a second. But the difference being the factory paint. The promo cars had the factory paint, while the models didn't match it.
Right, right.
So they were accurately rendered with many options visible, like the two-tone paint when it was available, and they had some of them had the detailed interiors, and especially the Fords. And now they had the features of the cars molded into the underside of it.
Right,
Like
yeah.
if it was a Cruise-O-Matic and a lot of those have it on the bottom.
Yeah, on the bottom.
I had a magnifying glass and I was trying to see some of the stuff and I couldn't see because my eyes are so bad. So I got a big one that mounts to my table with a light on it.
Uh-huh.
And I'd put that down and then I took the magnifying glass and put it under that.
My
And
goodness.
finally I could see what a lot of them were. And Doug Pope helped me identify some of them.
Right.
So he was a real big help. It would have took me all day. It took him maybe 15, 20 minutes, those nosy old cars. And because you can look at them and really tell what they are.
Right.
I mean, if you know your cars. But there was a lot of manufacturers for the U.S. car companies, but the most prolific, like Philip said, were Johan and AMT,
Yeah. those
Rebel, which was a big manufacturer
Rebel.
of the model cars.
Model cars. Model kits in general, too.
I have some Rebel model kits that hadn't been put together, and I've got some that I have put together. I got a box full of them out in my barn there. I hate to say, but they're in the barn. They're in overflow.
Overflow.
In those Rubbermaid containers. But Monogram, Now it's a lot of, or they still make the car kits. Now it says Johan's changed hands several times. It's currently owned by Mr. Okie Spaulding. I don't know who Okie Spaulding is, but what he's doing with them is he's taking those original vintage molds and making limited editions runs of those cars.
Yeah.
So there's some repros out there,
Yeah.
reproductions that people need to be aware of. But no website could be found for Johan. Now, the original 50s and 60s are highly collectible because, like we said, most of them didn't survive their time as the kids' toys. And even fewer exist in the original boxes. Do we need to take a break?
Yeah, we're getting close.
Why don't we do that?
Well, I was waiting for you.
Because I've got quite a bit.
Oh, you got quite a good bit.
Yes.
Okay, we're going to take a quick break. We'll be right back.
Hello, I'm Pick and Rick T from CFC, best place to get you used auto parts and all types of metals to repurpose for your needs. Just take a drive down 55, see this handsome guy, stop on by. Check out our computer for hundreds of autos to locate the make and the model of the part you need. $2 fee is all you pay. Sign in and get a hand stamp, it's good for all day. Bring in your tools, get the parts you need pulled, and use a wheelbarrow to lighten the load. Pay for your parts, prices you'll be fond of. Each part's price the same, Chevy or Honda. Get exchange warranty for 30 days too. Swap out the parts you don't need for the parts that you do. Happy picking!
The Jiffy Burger on the Hillsborough Boulevard in Manchester has been voted as having the best hamburgers in Manchester. Hometown atmosphere, historical memorabilia, and of course those great burgers, salads, chicken, and so much more. It's the Jiffy Burger on the Hillsborough Boulevard in Manchester. Call in orders at 728-4452. You can also order at the convenient outdoor curb service. Hamburgers are made the old-fashioned way at the Jiffy Burger, Manchester's finest hamburgers. Open 7:30 until 9, Monday through Saturday.
All right, we're back with Let's Talk Antiques. Yeah, Ronnie just showed me this car
1960.
promo car. Where's the camera?
It's right behind you.
And that's what is this, a 59 or 60?
That's a 60.
60 Rambler station wagon. I guess that would be the cross country, I think they called it. I think that's what they called it. Yeah, 1960 here on the front. And this one was made by Johan. And that's cool. I like that.
Yeah, that's a nice little car.
Is this for sale?
Yeah, it'll be
Everything's for
on
sale.
eBay today.
$1.98?
Well, there's 8 of them to start with, and then I'm gonna start 12 more
Oh, look at this. He's wheeler and dealer,
of
isn't
them
he?
today because I didn't want them to all end at once because I'd have a bunch to ship.
Yeah, well,
So
that's
let them
true,
be a few
too.
days apart, you know.
Okay. Hey, we got a call. You want to see if there's...
Yes.
Let's see who we got here. You're on Let's Talk Antiques.
Yes, I was wondering if y'all might be able to give me a value on a real good 1985 Dodge Chevy, what it might be worth.
Is that a promo car?
Yep,
What year was it?
85 Dodge Shelby.
That Shelby.
Okay.
Let me see here.
It being a Shelby, it'd be worth a little more. I'm wondering. We
they're-
find something
they're
that's been
looking-
sold here.
See if anything comes up. No exact matches. Yeah, nothing that new.
Well, I'm
I see
a-
on here.
Yeah. But you know,
You have a
that
guess,
being
Ronnie?
I would hate to guess on that because it being a Shelby, it's going to be more desirable
Yeah,
to the
you would think
collectors.
so.
Yeah.
Yeah, it not being on there, they hadn't been done run in a while, so somebody might just snatch it up.
Let me see
You
if
know.
I can. Let me try and narrow down.
What's that? About 34
got a-
years old.
I got a 71 that sold for $191. And a
Is it a Shelby?
65 for 100.
That's a
That's
Challenger.
Challenger. Yeah,
that's a
that's not a
Challenger.
Shelby. You're
No,
right.
that Shelby's going to be worth more.
Yeah. Okay. Sorry, I can't help you that much.
If I had to take a guess, I'd say, a couple $100 range, just being conservative.
Thank you.
All right.
All right. Thank you, sir. Yeah, if there's no recent activity on something like that, it's kind of hard to say. But
Yeah.
the only thing you can do really is check your Google periodically that and see if there's some demand for
I
them.
would stick it on there and put a reserve whatever I wanted on it and see what it done.
Yeah, you could do that too.
That's exactly what
yeah,
I
you
did
could
if I
list,
didn't know.
list that on eBay and put a reserve.
Or put it on a buy it now.
you know, let's say you want $200 for it. Well, make the reserve 200 and put it up for bid. And if it doesn't bring 200, it doesn't sell. But if somebody comes along and gives you 200 or more,
Yes.
then it's gone. See, but at least you got what you thought you wanted.
Yeah, and they put our best offer, and you probably get most times, you know,
Oh, yeah.
they'll offer me more than I'm asking.
Yeah, just to get it.
Yeah.
Because if they really want something, they'll come along and say, well, I'll give you $300 for it, because they want it bad for their collection.
Yes.
And a lot of these people are collecting a particular brand or models, you know, and they want.
They need it to go with what they've got.
Right.
There may be somebody out there that just collects Shelbys, you know?
Yeah.
So, Ronnie, can I ask you something about these? So, it seems like the friction cars don't have as much detail etched into the bottom of them.
Right.
Is that something
Different
all the
man-
way, or is that just a couple I've grabbed
just,
here of yours?
Just different manufacturers.
Okay.
You know, a lot of the plastic ones is the ones that's mostly got the ones with that's got a metal bottom because
Yeah.
it's an older car. The plastic ones the ones that's got the plastic bottoms,
Yeah.
have it molded
Have
in
it more than
Have
older
more.
ones.
than the
Okay.
metal ones.
Yeah.
And
And there's a possibility. I wonder if that was given out by an AMC dealer,
well,
or was that one that was on the toy counter?
and it depends on
You know, if it's on the toy counter,
It's
it
a
won't have all
Johan.
the detail. But if if a car company like Ford or Chevy or AMC had one, they want to advertise or promote their vehicles. You know, so they'll put on extra stuff like that.
yeah, and so they're not going to bring as much as the others.
Yeah,
Because of that.
because of that.
Because that's one way to identify them.
Right.
You know, so you know, some of them bring more than others.
Yeah. Okay.
I'm fine to just dig through the box and look at the
Yeah,
toy
check
cars.
them out.
Right
Yeah,
now.
the cars are really
Well,
neat.
Doesn't make for interesting radio at the point, but you
Well,
know,
that's
I'm
okay.
just.
Well, you want to hold it up in front of your microphone there, then people can see it better.
Okay. Now, I'll finish up this little thing right here we were doing. a while ago.
Yeah, finish it.
Okay. It says the original 50s and 60s are highly collectible, and most didn't survive because of the kids. We said that. Okay. Prior to 64, many of the manufacturers used an acetate plastic that warped over time, and I think Philip covered that a while
Yeah.
ago. The later models used styrene, and it was much more stable.
Right.
And that's one of the things that we're talking about here concerning the process. And so you can see in several of the photos, and there's some photos here, what I'm looking at, the warping of the bodies of the earlier cars. And that's the reason they done it. That's why the others are more desirable.
Yeah.
And they typically range in price from $20 to $100 for common examples, and rare sought-after cars going in the $200 to $500 range.
Right.
You know,
So is that like the less popular cars that people didn't think to collect? Do you think?
Yeah.
Is
Yes,
that- okay.
yes, it is. And when we get down, you'll give them some prices here in a little bit,
Yeah.
and that'll kind of tell them. You'll probably pull up some of mine. If you,
Oh, okay.
no, I don't have any sold. I got one that's sold, but the auction's not over. So now there are many other promotional items given away at dealerships in the 50s and 60s. And this guy's got it's a camera that they gave away. And there's a picture of it, and it's really sharp. It's an Imperial Savoy, and I'd never heard, maybe you've heard of that, Philip.
No.
Imperial Savoy. There it is, but, you know, it's kind of like a camera. And so they had them in the vintage categories. And I've seen a lot of the dealer signs, you know, those dealer signs.
Oh, yeah.
They're really popular. Like the ones over the maintenance department or the
Right.
service center or, you know, blah, 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 anything. They're really popular right now. So I've got another little ditty here.
Yeah, you know, some things, like you said, dealer signs, especially of the independent car companies, the Kaiser Fraser and things like that, they're really in demand today because they're so rare and they bring high price. Studebaker is another example of, and interestingly, on
The
Well, I was going to say, interestingly, when AMC was purchased by Chrysler, Chrysler trashed and junked everything.
Are you kidding me?
No, they did, and as an AMC owner, and kind of upset a lot of people. Whereas when Studebaker went out of business, what was left of the Studebaker Corporation donated it to a group, and a lot of stuff was saved. And if you happen to get up into South Bend, Indiana, go to the Studebaker Museum. It is out of this world.
Yeah, you were telling us about that. They got some great stuff.
They even have the concept cars that Studebaker was working on just prior to going. If they had had just a little more money and could have hung on, I think they might still be in business.
Now, how'd you like to have one of those concept
Oh
cars?
my! But see now, parts. Studebaker saved the parts so that there were parts for their car. Chrysler scrapped everything.
Oh, good.
Now, a few dealers were smart enough to not follow and turn them in for junk, and so there's a few. But so if you're looking for things, see that influences the rarity of something. Influences.
Yeah. As a matter of, I was going to say, when you mentioned Studebakers, in the mid 30s, National Products started making those scale models.
Yeah.
And Studebaker's 1934 World's Fair replica was the first one made.
Yeah, boy, that'd be something to have today.
I'm telling you.
And,
The Studebakers in the 30s are in something close to 1/43rd scale. In the 50s, they were made about 1/18th, so like 7 or 8 inches long. And especially banks, because in 1949, Banthrico, which was you was trying to pronounce that a while ago, I can see it now, they took over National, and 1/25th or 24th became the standard,
oh, I see.
which we were talking about a while ago was like
Yeah.
6 inches
Yeah.
for the smaller ones, and like 7 or 8. And then the other producer, like AMT, they started making them, and they introduced the plastic models.
But there's some really nice stuff out there if you can find it, and if you can find a what might have been a dealership building, and maybe up in the attic there might be some stuff stashed away still. Although you think most of that would be gone by now in a closed dealership, but you
Well,
never know.
Some of those older dealerships,
Yeah.
especially, I see them on things I watch on YouTube, where they find these old businesses that have been shut down for a while,
Right.
and for years and years, and there's stuff still in them. They're
Right.
full.
Yeah.
There was one car lot was full of cars,
Full of cars.
and
Yeah.
there's no telling what's in that thing.
Yeah, and whoever owns it isn't interested in letting go of any of it for whatever reason,
Sentimental reasons of
I don't know.
Granddaddy bought this, and and I don't want to get rid of it.
Yeah.
But Granddaddy bought it to sell, to make money on
Yeah,
it.
that's right. that's
Granddaddy
right.
didn't want to sit on it forever.
Right.
Exactly. He would have sold it if he'd had the chance.
Right. But it is interesting,
But now
what
when-
might be stashed away in somebody's attic somewhere.
When they start talking about that sentimental value, it's going to be hard to buy from.
Oh, it's almost.
You know.
Well, I watch that American Pickers.
Oh, yeah.
They go there, and the guy or gal has a barn full of stuff, but they're in love with every piece, and they'll try to buy it. I'm thinking, my granddaddy had that or something. You think it's money.
Well, no, a lot of
It's
times when
money.
they're saying that,
Yeah.
they just want more money. They're going to be ridiculous on the prices.
Yeah.
You know,
right.
because they don't really realize, that you can go out and buy it somewhere else.
Sometimes
Sometimes
you
you can't. Now, if you can't, you need to jump on it no matter what.
Right. Hey,
Because where are you going to get another one?
we're going to have to take another break.
All right.
Are you ready?
Yeah.
Okay. Whether you were or not, you were going to.
We were
gonna
going,
break.
wasn't we?
We'll
I
be
knew
right
that
back.
when you said it.
Hey, and Ray hasn't said hardly a word.
He's been
I was
quiet
just
over
wondering
there.
about that.
Yeah, why are you here?
Poked him hard enough.
Hey, when we come back, I want
I'm
Ray.
stage fright, maybe that might be it.
I'm sure that's what it is. When we come back, I want Ray to talk about something.
Yeah, you got to
Okay,
jump in and
we'll-
give me a break before my voice goes out.
We'll be right back.
Hello, I'm Pick and Rick T from CFC, best place to get you used auto parts and all types of metals to repurpose for your needs. Just take a drive down 55, see this handsome guy, stop on by. Check out our computer for hundreds of autos to locate the make and the model of the part you need. $2 fee is all you pay. Sign in, get a hand stamp, it's good for all day. Bring in your tools, get the parts you need pulled, and use a wheelbarrow to lighten the load. Pay for your parts, prices you'll be fond of. Each part's price the same, Chevy or Honda. Get exchange warranty for 30 days too. Swap out the parts you don't need for the parts that you do. Happy picking!
The Jiffy Burger on the Hillsborough Boulevard in Manchester has been voted as having the best hamburgers in Manchester. Hometown atmosphere, historical memorabilia, and of course those great burgers, salads, chicken, and so much more. It's the Jiffy Burger on the Hillsborough Boulevard in Manchester. Call in orders at 728-4452. You can also order at the convenient outdoor curb service. Hamburgers are made the old-fashioned way at the Jiffy Burger, Manchester's finest hamburgers. Open 7:30 until 9, Monday through Saturday.
Yes, and we're back too.
Yeah, we're back.
You know, I noticed that Max had, he's embedded in y'all's show pretty good here.
Yeah, he
but
isn't even here, and he talks,
I
and
know.
Ray's
Yeah.
here, and he hasn't talked. I don't understand this.
Max
What's going
talks-
on?
I'm trying to live up to Max's legend, and that's hard to do.
Oh,
He talks about 3 times during the
Are you
show.
taking
I
up golf
know.
then? Are you taking up golf then?
He didn't last long, Teddy said.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
That was the last thing I heard, is that he was off every Wednesday playing golf. So.
Yeah, I think the Earls of Leicester got so big that his coach had to leave town too often.
Oh, okay.
Johnny Warren was teaching him.
Oh, I didn't realize
Yeah,
that.
Johnny's a professional golfer
Oh, yeah.
Okay, cool.
and a heck of a fiddle player.
Oh yeah,
yeah.
absolutely. Yeah, I've shot them out of Bonnaroo
Yeah.
before. Yeah, when they were out there, they were great. I wasn't sure. I mean, I knew they would be good, but I didn't know how good they were going to be.
I'll
It
tell you
was-
what, they've
yeah.
kept Flat and Scruggs alive.
Yeah.
They really have. I get calls all the time. There's a fella called me the other day from Knoxville and wanted to know if I want to sell my dad's hat.
Yeah.
He said, I'll give you $300. I said, where you at?
He's like, no, you should have shipped it to him.
That's what, like, I went to go see John Prine this last year at Bonnaroo, and I was like, I knew I liked John Prine, but I had no idea that would be one of the best shows
Yeah.
I saw the
Wow.
entire weekend. I mean, he was great, and he shuffled out on stage. Like, I mean, John Prine's up in years,
Yeah.
and he kind of shuffled out on stage. And I was like, oh man, I hadn't seen him in a while. He's older than I remember him being. And once the music started going, he was dancing and
Wow.
and going all over the place, and he was a entertainer once
I'm
he
gonna tell
started
you
up.
what
Yeah.
I found about a lot of those old guys
Yeah.
is the older they get, the better they get.
Oh.
Because they're experienced entertainers.
True.
They're really entertainers. They've been doing it.
Yeah.
Well,
all
I never
those
saw
years.
my dad ever dance until that Beverly Hillbillies granny dance that
Yeah.
Lester used to do.
Yeah.
Well, after Lester died, then Dad started doing that dance with people.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah. I didn't know he had it in him.
There you go.
cool.
Okay, well, all right. So one of our stories about the collecting of the cars here is Robert Evans is a collector of it, but his isn't gigantic, but it's really personal. His dad worked at Palmer Incorporated, which produced the machinery that packaged the models, and knowing that his kid was a car nut, Lee brought the first ones home for little Bob in 1948, and from there they turned up regularly for birthdays and Christmas. So he had a line to get them right from 48 on.
And he had some serious cars there, don't he?
Robert has built a very select lineup, and earlier this year took a look at some of the ones, showing, let's see, a pepper red Chrysler. This color it's pre-war. They said it didn't catch on until after the war. A maroon Nash, and these are all like metal, more like Matchbox car size.
So
Okay.
those
almost.
look like some of the earlier cars.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And that one's a little bigger. It's
Yeah.
a maroon Nash, which says it's got stamped on the top, Courtesy Motors, West Grand Avenue.
Now that's interesting because you know where it comes from.
Yeah.
Right.
Uh,
The
Curt-
dealer probably made those and handed
Yeah.
those out to people.
Yeah,
This
from
is-
Kind of like a ballpoint pen today. you
Right.
know.
Yeah.
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 This is
It's
the,
kind of amazing the condition of those cars that you have,
after
Ronnie.
all these
they're in
years.
good
Yeah.
shape. Yeah. The Courtesy Man, it says, was a Chicago, Illinois TV staple, one of the first to pitch cars on the air. given this step-down Hudson added historical appeal. From the Hudson standpoint, he was the biggest and the best, said Robert. When I got that perfect model from him, I was 8 years old. Oh,
And you still got it.
yeah. Tires switched from all white to all black when Banthrico took over National Products in 1949, and at the same time switched to the larger 1/25th scale. As Promo models became more popular, variations on the theme appeared, like Ford yellow cabs, presumably for a fleet sales marketing effort. And then as an Oldsmobile hardtop with silver side spears, the Packard convertible.
Now, I like
Really?
that convertible.
Yeah. And banks were also marketed with them. Here's a Home Federal Savings State at Adams, Chicago.
What was I saying? Locked with a key.
Did you ever see them add on that
No.
white wall, the fake white wall they put on them?
Spray painted on?
No, it was rubber.
Oh,
It made
yeah.
it white.
Oh, you
and when
mean-
they'd blow it up, it would outline the thing.
Yeah, it was a about that thick.
Yeah.
And it was, about maybe that wide.
Right.
And it fit the tire.
Oh.
You let the air out of the tire, break the bead, and you'd put the white wall.
Right.
What they call that? They had a name for it.
I can't
but
remember
you put
now.
that in there, and then when you filled the tire back up, it held the white wall. It was a black wall tire.
Yeah.
And you put this white wall ring.
Okay,
if
I
you-
don't entirely understand
Yeah.
how it would
what
hold
they call
on
those?
there.
I can't remember what I had those.
The air pressure would be, it would entrap it when it would come up and pop. But the only bad part, sometimes they would stretch, I guess sun
To
or
top
whatever,
over our head.
and you'd see the rubber part flopping at the
Yeah.
top sometimes.
I was gonna say, well, if you drive it, it wouldn't be driving on part that was
No,
holding
no,
on?
it didn't
or-
go all the way down.
No.
It was, the tires maybe this wide,
It
Yeah.
started at
And
the
it
top
wa-
and
it-
come down.
and it just fit around.
Yeah, it was a complete circle.
Okay.
It
A
fit right
ring.
in there, but the air would hold it.
Yeah, and you bought, if you had 15-inch wheels, you had 15-inch,
Okay.
ring.
I should-
Huh?
we
What
should
do
get
they
some of
call
those.
There's a
things?
company in Chattanooga where you can buy those reproduction
That's
ones
probably
like
Coker.
that.
Is that Coker?
I think it is, yeah.
They make the old tires for
That's
old cars.
That's the only
They're-
place I know to get them.
And I don't know if they still make those or not.
I don't know.
Anybody. But I do know Coker will make you a tire that similar to what you had on your car originally.
Wow.
Yeah.
For these guys and gals
Yeah.
that want their car to be just like it came off the factory.
Yeah.
And the tread, is the old style tread. And
That's what I would want, yeah.
yeah, of course,
Of
But
course,
yeah,
I wouldn't be able to afford
can
it, but
afford it,
I want
yeah,
it.
there-
I want a lot of things.
Yeah.
Let's see. He's got a display of the entire '53 Chevrolet color palette.
Oh, God.
Probably not as bright as it was half a century ago. By then, it was in plastic. Banthrico ended their production in 1956. This one,
And you know what that would be good for? Somebody that was reproducing, that was rebuilding those cars and wanted the right color.
Oh, yeah.
He'd buy them a good model off dealer promo. 'Cause
Yeah.
they had the right paint.
that's
Right.
20 different cars there. By the
I think that that you saw up there with the bank on it.
Yeah.
Some of them had slots in the back of them
Yeah,
where the
it
kids
says-
put their change.
Yeah, it says it could
Is
be
that-
locked
has
with a
that got
key.
slot? That's got a slot, don't it?
I don't know if
Is that-
that's.
or they're usually in the back.
I think it's in the bottom where they
Yeah.
sit on them. There's he's got one that's a model was painted in the University of Michigan colors, apparently when new, and one of the rarest promos of all. In 1956, the new Rambler cross-country wagon made a cross-country promotional trip, and dealership at which it stopped received these display-only models, and
Oh,
it's
wow.
it's just molded orange plastic.
Windows
of it,
and
yeah.
all.
Yeah, everything's solid on that. So that was only given to the dealers that got it stopped at.
that.
Yeah.
Huh. That's interesting.
Here's another display-only promo model. The clear 1956 Rambler is a full frame on one side and unit body stampings on the other.
Now,
That's
ones
one.
like those two would be really desirable to the collector. Those would
Oh,
bring
of
the
course,
big money.
yeah.
God.
You know what would be ideal is if you had a that particular car, a real one, and
yeah.
it's restored, and then you have this promo model that you can
Yeah.
set like on the dashboard or something for people to see that you had the promo for that
you go.
particular car.
Well,
That'd be cool.
The Tesla that Elon Musk launched into space with that time.
Oh, yeah.
It had a model of the Tesla on the hood.
Yeah,
Or on the dashboard.
On the
What was the spaceman's name? Do you remember? Starman.
Starman, yeah,
Starman.
was the astronaut.
I wonder where
in
he's
it.
at right now. Have you tracked him lately?
Not in a while. He didn't get out of the solar, or it didn't get the right angle to end up at
So
Mars.
he's going to end up in the sun then.
Couldn't tell you where he's at.
I say he'll end up in the sun.
It wasn't
sometime.
quite as successful, but it was
Oh.
just in case it survived because it was a Tesla.
Well,
launch.
now he was going to send it to Mars, wasn't he?
Yeah, that was
It was-
the hope.
Yeah.
You know.
Well, if he done that to Starman, I wouldn't want to be on the first
No,
crew going. Because he might send us no telling where.
where you'd end up.
Yeah.
Do you
But
want-
anyway, go ahead. Now,
that's the
what,
and my last one is a 1953 Pontiac
Ooh, that'd be cool.
Banthrico model, and it's not in perfect shape,
That's got
but it
some, like
is.
some chips in the paint. it
But you
looks
know,
like.
it's pretty old.
Yeah.
But-
I
but-
like that body style.
well, see, the thing there is that's a Pontiac.
It's
Yeah.
1953
And
Pontiac.
people didn't keep them like now. If it had been a 55 Chevy, or 56 Chevy, everybody loved them. But these lesser known,
Well.
Pontiac's a well-known brand.
Well, my dad
but I
built a
mean,
race car out of a
it wasn't
Pontiac.
it wasn't the hot car of
I
that
think
time.
it seems to me like people didn't keep Pontiacs. Like you'd have one and you get like a new one every 3 or 4 years because
Yeah.
cars didn't last back then like they do now.
No,
you know,
no.
in general.
If you went to the
But,
races, there was a lot of them in the demolition derbies.
Oh yeah.
Oh God.
Yeah.
Did you ever watch one of those?
Oh, I love them.
Oh,
yeah,
God,
they're
me too.
wonderful.
Yeah, we used to go every week.
I've been hoping to. I'm intending to take the kids to that because that's something
Oh,
that
they would
you need
love
to
it.
Oh, they're
experience.
something.
You know.
They would love that.
And when you have a demolition derby too, you want a big car.
Oh yeah.
Oh, yeah.
Because and you pick on the little cars first to
Oh,
get
yeah,
them
yeah.
knocked
Get
out.
the
so-
Novas and
you
stuff.
know, you go backwards so you can crash them into the radiator and then they can't run anymore.
Yeah,
That was the main object right there is
Yeah.
the radiator. The
Radiator.
reason I know that, I used to drive some of it.
Oh, really?
Yeah, and I had
Oh.
a friend that did there in Nashville.
Oh, my.
Yeah.
Yeah, they're
They
fun to
hit that
watch.
radiator first.
Person needs to move the radiator somewhere else when
you
you
You see them
building
running
one of
around
those.
there, steam flying everywhere, and
Yeah.
then the motor blows, and then they don't go anywhere.
It was quite a sight.
What did you drive? Or I guess it was
We-
different on a pretty
We had
regular
old
basis.
Fords more than anything.
Yeah.
Back then, we felt like Ford was more solid or something than the rest of them.
Okay.
But yeah, we done a lot of work on the inside of them to make sure they wouldn't bend in on us too
Yeah.
bad.
Put the roll bars in
yeah.
on
Oh
them.
yeah,
Yeah.
yeah.
That was interesting.
Today's car seat wouldn't do. They wouldn't do
It
it.
wouldn't last long.
Well, I'll tell you
Crumple
what.
design isn't quite made for that.
Well, not
Yeah,
only-
back then you could only replace the door. You didn't have to worry about replacing the whole side.
Well, today's cars, they're designed to crumple when they're hit.
Right.
Yeah.
And they're made out of plastic, and that's part of the crumpling. And they'd hit something, and there'd be plastic. That's
Are we about ready for a break, Howard?
yes, boy, you're good at that.
Yeah.
You need to run the board over here.
No,
You're
no,
better
I
than
just,
me.
I just need to remind you.
He's going to replace me.
no.
We'll be,
I couldn't replace you if I wanted to.
Oh yeah, you could.
Hello, I'm Pickin' Rick T from CFC, best place to get you used auto parts and all types of metals to repurpose for your needs. Just take a drive down 55, see this handsome guy, stop on by. Check out our computer for hundreds of autos to locate the make and the model of the part you need. $2 fee is all you pay. Sign in, get a hand stamp, it's good for all day. Bring in your tools, get the parts you need pulled, and use a wheelbarrow to lighten the load. Pay for your parts, prices you'll be fond of. Each part's price the same, Chevy or Honda. Get exchange warranty for 30 days too. Swap out the parts you don't need for the parts that you do. Happy picking!
The Jiffy Burger on the Hillsborough Boulevard in Manchester has been voted as having the best hamburgers in Manchester. Hometown atmosphere, historical memorabilia, and of course those great burgers, salads, chicken, and so much more. It's the Jiffy Burger on the Hillsborough Boulevard in Manchester. Call in orders at 728-4452. You can also order at the convenient outdoor curb service. Hamburgers are made the old-fashioned way at the Jiffy Burger, Manchester's finest hamburgers. Open 7:30 until 9, Monday through Saturday.
All right, we're back.
Okay.
I'm gonna have to make a commercial. I can't let Max outdo me.
Yeah, you need to do that, right?
Wow.
So we're at the end of the show, and we realize we haven't really looked up anything on eBay here. I've got a vintage '68 Johan Dodge Charger RT dealer promo. Now this is the car with the box, and the box is in fair condition. There were 22 bids for this, and went for $417. If anybody's wondering, what these things can bring.
Yeah, those boxes make them worth a lot more money if you
And
got the box.
it's really the car's in pretty nice shape too.
There's got to be
Very
a
nice.
lot of those around town here. A lot of people's got those, haven't even thought about it in years, or realized they got them.
Yeah, you would think so.
Yeah.
And let me point out real quick, one easy way to tell what year these are is because the license plate always tells you.
Yes, the years is easy, but the models was harder for me.
Sometimes it's printed on them, and sometimes it's not.
Yeah.
I'll tell you, there's some beautiful old cars around this
Oh God.
area.
Yes.
I've got a 1966 Ambassador hardtop promo, yellow and red with the original box. 10 bids on that went for $307.59.
Now that's a two-tone car too.
Yeah. Here's your caddy, 63 Cadillac Coupe hardtop maroon. Dealer promo car. Factory condition with box, they say. $295 was the buy it now on that one. So they got that pretty quick.
How do you know the difference between the coupe and the sedan?
Difference between a coupe and a sedan.
Yes.
Well, a sedan.
One of them's a few inches longer. Some of them maybe it's the interior space. The sedan's got more interior space
more interior
than the
space.
coupe. That is the difference.
But today you don't hear the word coupe much anymore. But they had. I think the coupe had a little bigger trunk.
Yeah, see, I didn't know what the difference was, so I had to look it up.
I thought that the difference was the coupe was 2-door and the sedan
Well,
was
they-
4-door.
Well, there
Well,
can be a two-door
This is,
sedan.
see
but
it right there where it says the side of auto.
Yeah.
The interior space is
Less than 33 cubic feet is a sedan. Oh, and okay. Less than, and a coupe would be bigger.
I didn't know it. I had to look it up.
Huh.
Because like Howard said, you don't hear it no more.
No, you don't.
They don't say that. So I didn't know.
And it used to be like a businessman's coupe, or a salesman, I guess it was. And
Yeah.
They, because then the trunk was bigger and they could carry their displays and stuff, but they didn't need a back seat necessarily because it was
Okay.
just.
So they sacrificed back
Yeah.
interior space to
Now,
the trunk. Oh, okay.
Today,
Oh,
a two-door car today, a lot of times is basically the four-door body
Yeah.
with
yeah.
just two doors, and then they make the doors a little bigger,
Yeah.
maybe.
yeah,
on
which
some
gives
of
you
them.
more space in the back seat, probably. which
Right.
probably is the
Exactly.
difference.
But yeah, they're kind of gone. You don't hear the term coupe anymore,
No, I mean,
other than chicken coop.
I had never ran.
Sorry
none of-
about that. I couldn't do it.
I never ran any of those cars, and I didn't know,
Yeah.
So I didn't want to describe them wrong. I didn't want to look stupid, so I had to look.
I had to look it up.
So you got some more there, Philip? We're sitting here talking the
Yeah,
show away.
I say I'm looking at Johan, by the way, is my search on this.
Yeah.
Here's a 1966 Johan Cadillac DeVille convertible, true promo car, mint. Dark green went for $275 for the buy it now on this one.
Wow,
That's good money.
Yeah.
for
that's
those
good
cars.
money. Yeah, for something that was given away,
Hey,
probably.
that's the truth. Yeah.
Here's a 70 vintage Johan AMX Hornet.
Ooh, okay.
Javelin dealer promo car with box. 18 bids on that. It went for $217.50.
And you notice it
Wrong with that.
with the box.
Yeah.
That really adds.
That makes all the difference
makes
in
all
the
the
world.
difference. You got something.
That makes a difference between a $100 car and a $200
Yeah,
car,
yeah.
or a $200 car and a $400
Right.
car, depending on what it is.
And here's another AMX 1970 Javelin, two-door promo car without the box. They were asking $200 and got, or $210 and got somewhere around $200 on that. So that made a little difference. It didn't have the. Oh, that was a buy it now on that one too.
Okay.
There's a Mopar.
Here's a Mopar 1969 Plymouth GTX promo car, fire blue friction drive. It's pre-owned, they say.
Oh yeah, it's a used car. They would have got a good deal on that one.
One bid went for $200.
New with warranty.
Yeah. Yeah. As is warranty is what
Yeah,
I
as
put on
is.
it.
A '64 Cadillac DeVille convertible. $195 was the buy it now on that. A '57 Pontiac 4-door. That's like their seafoam green, I would call that. They did a buy it now of $199 and 95 cents.
95.
That 95 cents probably got it.
There you
for
go.
Yeah, that did it.
And there's another one that's just like it, but it's yellow. They
Oh,
went
the
for
same guy.
$199. Wonder why I figured that other one was worth 95 cents more.
The color.
I like
color,
that
yeah.
DeSoto you got there.
Here's a vintage 1960 DeSoto Adventurer hardtop.
Whoa, now
That's-
that's a rare car.
Oh, it's
It's
sharp.
got some cool fins on
Yeah.
it. It's a 12 bids on that went for $190.49.
Somebody bids like I bid.
Yeah, that's I
That
like to
extra
do.
odd penny sometimes
Yeah.
wins the
The same guy
fine.
buying one, 'cause he got a 74 cents there and a 50 cents.
Is a '69 Cadillac Eldorado. Wisteria lilac color on this one. The buy it now on that was $185.
That got good fins too, doesn't
Is
it?
that like a purple?
Actually,
It looks
not
like a,
very
what
huge.
is
believe it or not.
lilac?
Yeah, it's a purple-ish.
Purplish, yeah, ish is right. Because it's like a,
That one,
it's got silver. It's like
it's got. Gosh, I don't know how to describe that
Purple,
back
it
end.
looks like
It's got
purple with
fins,
silver.
but not as big as the old ones.
Yeah, well,
This is-
that era, they really put a lot of fins on cars.
oh yeah, because space age, you know.
Yeah.
I mean,
Space age. Help stabilize them going down the highway. Too.
yeah.
Here's
When you're
a
flying.
1968 Chrysler 300 promo with the box. 8 bids on that went for $169.16.
Nice looking car.
Try and find some different ones.
We're getting down close, so you want to start.
Here's vintage promo model cars. Johan AMT Galaxy Thunderbirds Old Super 88. There's 3 of them here.
Oh, okay.
20 bids for those, and it went for $160.50
For
those
3 of 'em?
3 sold together.
Oh, there were some rare cars there too.
Which car was that Rocket 88?
That was Oldsmobile.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah, Oldsmobile Rocket 88.
Yeah.
That was their V8. They came out with the V8 and they called it a Rocket 88.
Rocket 88.
Here's a 56 cream peach Plymouth Belvedere
Ooh.
with friction motor. This is beautiful little one. 19 bids on that went for $149.49.
That'd be a cool one to get there.
Yeah, buddy.
Hey, it looks like we're running out of time here, though, guys. We got
All right.
about 30 seconds.
Okay. All right. Well, I guess
How,
that.
how about that? How about that 70 Javelin down there?
AMC
That's
Javelin
a
muscle car
good-looking
promo.
Ah.
Yeah, buddy.
Horrible green.
Horrible green.
$149.
Hey, thanks for letting me sit in today, fellas.
Yeah.
Appreciate it.
We're
Good,
glad
good
you
to see you
came.
again.
And
man.
we finally let you talk.
There you go.
Well, we're going to have to go. We're out of time.
Okay.
All right.
We'll be back next week,
And we'll do it again.
and we'll try and get it right next week. Bye, everybody.